Good afternoon นะครับ everyone Welcome back to university นะครับ I hope that you had like nice term break นะครับ and some of you went to internship during the term break too I think that you enjoyed those tasks นะครับ that you were assigned นะครับ Okay so in this list in my class list นะครับ I have altogether 15 students นะครับ so that is good because we have just like not the very big class so when we have any discussion or any presentation we can just like do it on the specific period of time นะครับ okay so before we start talking about the contents of e-commerce นะครับ so let me just like know all of you first in this class list นะครับ some of you we met each other before from other subjects right some of you are quite like new for me นะครับ so let me have your nickname นะครับ or the name that you want me to call you first Hasadin what would you like me to call you
Harvey.
Harvey yeah okay Harvey we met each other before right Shakira
ค่ะ
Shakira turn on camera please anyone who just like talk to me please turn on camera so that I can just like remember you next is นัฐการครับ
ink
โอเครินรัตติพรครับ
อยู่ค่ะ
I'm sorry
อยู่ค่ะ
you
yes
โอเคครับทันทิตาครับ
แนนค่ะ
แนนโอเคทันทิตา I remember your face you are my advisee right
yes ค่ะ
okay Philip
You can call me Philip ครับ
okay Philip can you turn on your camera please
Yep.
okay yeah because you look like another students of mine okay yeah
We actually met in ID ครับ
yeah right ณภัทรครับ
Nate,
ณภัทร where are you I can
here. Can you want me to open my camera?
yes please ณภัทร is what is your nickname again
Nate.
Nate okay
We met in I think ID also and on open house event.
yes nice to see you again actually because we are CS so we have to see each other in any classes or in any activities anyway นะครับโอเคพงศกรครับ
EQ ครับ
EQ we met each other in previous class before right
ครับID เทอมที่แล้วครับ
I remember your nickname yeah because I remember that okay I tried to find your first name but I couldn't okay EQ okay
ครับผม
สหัสวัสดิ์ครับ He is not ready to connect to the audio now okay let me just like skip to another person สุจินาครับ
gift ค่ะอาจารย์
if can you push down the camera a bit โอเคครับโอเคครับจิรายุครับจิรายุ
อิงครับ
in
ing ครับ
ing โอเคครับ in have we met each other before
only in interaction design ครับ
okay อธิวัตรครับ
Yes, can you hear me?
yes
Okay, I'm Anakin ครับ
Anakin Anakin can you turn on your camera please I almost forget your face already Anakin okay yeah I remember it's you okay นิชนันครับนิชนัน
ลิ
Is
ตา
I'm sorry
ลิตา
Lita right Lita have we met each other before
yeah interaction design last term
okay yeah because some of you we met each other a year ago some of you we met each other just last term okay ครับนัทนิชาครับ
Hair ค่ะ
นัทนิชา nickname please
Hair ค่ะ
Pear right okay and Besmir
Yeah, you can call me Bess.
Best right okay
Yes.
we haven't met each other before Best
No, this is the first trimester.
just first term right okay yeah nice to see you
Nice to see you
okay
too.
and yeah and the last one นะครับสหัสวัสดิ์ are you ready now
Yes sir
your nickname please
my nickname is Boss ครับ
boss right
Yes
okay can you please turn on your camera okay right okay nice to see you all and most of you nice to see you all again okay right so today we are going to talk about like our e-commerce subject some of the students some of you asked me before registration that what about the content of this subject what about the team or the project that you have to do so today I'll clarify about that one for you so I hope that right now every of you just add yourself into Canvas already right okay that's one below so now let me talk about the course syllabus in the e-commerce what are we going to have for this class right for this subject okay, let me just open up my course syllabus file the electronic commerce subject here we have 4 hours lecture per each week and you need to have like self-study for 8 hours per week as well this is elective course in our computer science program we normally offer this subject once a year this one for this subject the prerequisite course is system analysis and design or interaction design subject there's no co-requisite course for this subject and we normally we set up this class on the campus but unfortunately due to the COVID-19 situation we still have the online class anyway until further notice if we are lucky enough we may be able to go back to the campus before the end of this term but right now just like be the online for 100% first the goal of this class of this course an objective of this course let me talk about it this course I would like you to have the knowledge in relation to electronic commerce and electronic business implementation so that means you have to know how to implement the e-commerce and e-business in the organization set forth we learn about the topics and concept of e-business including e-commerce business models electronic payment system electronic commerce infrastructure implementation concerns design criteria solution of business problems through case studies new trends in e-commerce such as use of social media and location-based technology for the objective of development or revision after you complete this course you should be able to understand threats and opportunity of e-commerce develop business models for electronic commerce organizations, and design websites that support business models. So the description of this course, students will learn how e-commerce is being used in today's business environment, concepts such as history of credit, the emergence of e-commerce, relationship between e-commerce, banking, and the organizations that are related to e-commerce, e-commerce and the value chain, and types of payment system. Additionally, a comparison between e-commerce and traditional business practices, organizational support systems, developing a strategy for e-commerce, business on the internet, data encryption, and global difficulties in implementing e-commerce will be discussed as well. So in this class, I don't focus in any programming languages to the e-commerce, but you can use any programming languages that you learned before, including the prototypes, the prototyping techniques, in order to come up with your deliverable in the term project for this one. So, and as I mentioned earlier, this subject has 44 hours, or 4 hours in 11 weeks, and you need to have 8 hours per week for self-studies. And I also provide the counseling and guidance, 1 hour per week. Actually, for our subject, if you would like to make an appointment to me, normally I have the class from 8 o'clock to 4 p.m. every Monday and Wednesday, and for Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, I will be available after 4 p.m. So approximately after 4, almost every day, I'll be available. If you want to talk to me, you can just like have an appointment at that time, or otherwise, because I mean like the tools that I use to communicate with the students, the fastest way, I tried to use some other tools already. But I think for myself, Line might be the quickest one. Discord I tried already, but sometimes I was distracted. So that's why I think for myself, Line might be still the best way. Anyway, right. So I'll set up the Line group for us, and then when we have some announcement or some reminders, I'll just let you know in our Line group, and also in Sky system as well. Also, for some of you who cannot join the Line group, I still like also just like use the Canvas as another communication channel as well. Okay, so for the learning outcome, expected learning outcome on your skills and knowledge, you'll be able to apply knowledge from lectures with the ideas received from analysis and synthesis to set up solutions or precautions to benefit individuals. Teaching methods, I'll use lecture, discussion, in-class practical exercises, as well as self-study. For the, these are like the morality and ethics. I would like you to read this kind of the morality and ethics too. To possess morality and ethics, to have self-discipline, honesty, kindness, self-responsible, and social responsibility. To demonstrate academic ethical behavior, to respect others' rights and be a good listener, to respect rules and regulations, to have good attitude toward professors and career. And also to determine leadership and team player. For teaching method, it's learning-centered education. We emphasize on knowledge development, important skills in career development and living. Encourage students to use their full potentials. We use lectures and in-class practical exercises and self-study. For evaluation method, we have examination นะครับ that is written exam we have class attendance and we have on-time submission of assignments and their quality knowledge development for the expected outcome on knowledge development to possess basic knowledge theories and concepts towards the understanding of self society surrounding in order to be well-rounded person to process the knowledge related to principles theories practice in the course to integrate knowledge to other related subjects and to remain current in research and new knowledge for the teaching methods we emphasize on knowledge development important skills in career development and living encourage students to use their full potential in lectures in class exercise and self-studies. Okay, and these are like the evaluation methods that we mentioned already. So this kind of document, we have to just like type repeatedly according to the regulations of Ministry of Education. Okay, so in here, so let me just like scroll down for teaching and evaluation plans. For the parts that I didn't read, you can read it by yourself for section 4. The next one is about our teaching plan. For these things, these are the topics that we have to learn. In this week, we'll talk about introduction to e-commerce and e-business. And then we follow by the framework for e-commerce. After that, when we learn the framework of the e-commerce already, we will learn about the basic technology of the internet and the web. Then in week number 4, we learn about the market opportunity analysis. Week 5, we talk about e-business models and e-commerce models. Week number 6, we talk about strategy formulation in terms of customer interface. Week 7, we will learn about market communications and branding of your e-commerce. Week 8, we talk about implementation of e-commerce in the real environment. Week 9 is metrics. How do you can measure the success of your e-commerce? Week 10, we talk about website development process. Followed by week 11, site architecture. In case that you have to talk about like your basis of the servers and architecture that you need to have, how do you gonna arrange them properly? And finally, week 12, we have final examination. Final exam is 2 hours, not 4 hours. Sorry, I just put it wrongly. And these are the score. Midterm exam 25%. Final examination 35%, term project is 30%, and class attendance and participation is 10%. For the term project here, you can set up the team of 2 up to 3 people, 2 up to 3 people to plan for the web for the e-commerce website, or you can have the e-commerce platform like in mobile platform is also applicable as well. At the end of the term, the things that you have to present to me is the conceptual design of the e-commerce, including your business model, including your architecture of your website, and also some prototype of the websites of your e-commerce. Including that, okay, if you say that, okay, you would like to have like the communication between you, your company, and suppliers and the bank, that is also like possible as well, because in order to just like close the loops of the e-commerce, you need to know how do we gonna supply our products or raw materials to the company. How do we bill the customers and how do we obtain the money from the customers as well? So that one, you can have like the prototype of the e-commerce because actually you have to cover like many aspects. So if I ask you to implement the full version of the web or the mobile e-commerce application, it might be like too much. So because we have to learn a lot of things, so I want you to come up with just like at least the prototype นะครับ and then also you need to have like some supporting information for your e-commerce platform as well ครับ okay so in terms of class attendance and participation in here we also have the case studies นะครับ that is a part of the participation score that you receive as well นะครับ in this one and also at the end of the term นะครับ I will let each team or each group นะครับ to just like sign for the what to say the contribution of each task same as like actually on the last term I implemented the what to say peer evaluation นะครับ for the work that each person works as well for example นะครับ suppose you have 3 members to do the case studies นะครับ in each case นะครับ how many percent that you are responsible for นะครับ it doesn't need to be same or equal proportion all the time because for example if I have let's say case study number 1 นะครับ one person may just like do 50% while the rest do just 25 if you have 3 people while another assignment or another case studies 3 of you might do equally 33 and one and let's say on case study number 3 Mr. A did the most like 80% while B and C did just 10 and 10 it might be possible just like do it honestly นะครับ for evaluation right okay these are like evaluation plan that we have got ครับ and this is the main materials that I use นะครับ and each time I will just like give you the handout as well นะครับ this in the last sections evaluation and improvement of the course management นะครับ we have evaluation of peers by students and student evaluation we have course content course management suggestion and overall opinion นะครับ evaluation strategies in teaching methods we do it from student evaluation and presentation improvement of teaching methods นะครับ workshop on course improvement with participation of all lecturers in this course นะครับ I just like conduct the workshop and just like meeting with like my colleagues and evaluation of students learning outcome analysis of student learning outcome using score from class attendance group activity and presentation of project poster presentation and finally the review and improvement for a better outcome meeting of lecturers to review the course before semester starts and before each period of teaching นะครับ okay so this is the TQF3 or the syllabus of this course นะครับ so in this class we have 15 students นะครับ in the list so that means I expect to have like 7 or 8 groups นะครับ to work together นะครับ so from now on I would like each of you นะครับ to just like look around the classmates นะครับ and form the group of 2 or 3 people นะครับ group of 2 or 3 people นะครับ individual person is not okay is not allowed นะครับ to do the term project so find at least 2 people up to 3 people นะครับ for this one and also I just recommend you นะครับ to have the same team to do case discussion and term project as well นะครับ okay right so up to this point do you have any questions about the syllabus that we have got okay if you don't have any question นะครับ today let me start a bit for our first module นะครับ our first module okay for first module just won't be long นะครับ I think I just like did something wrong a bit okay so everyone just go to download your handout number 1 นะครับ we are going to talk about our handout number 1 okay just won't be long นะครับ let me just put some screen first okay so the first handout นะครับ that is our first module it is introduction to our e-commerce the revolution is just beginning in this handout นะครับ let's see the learning objective what do we have to learn in this module so in this module you understand why it is important to study for e-commerce then you will learn how to define e-commerce you understand how e-commerce differs from e-business นะครับ I'm sure that you have heard for both term e-commerce e-business นะครับ identify the primary technological building blocks underlying e-commerce and also recognize major current themes in e-commerce then you have to identify and describe the unique features of e-commerce technology and discuss their business significance. Then you have to describe the major types of e-commerce, นะครับ the common major types of e-commerce that we have nowadays. Also, you understand the evolution of e-commerce from its early years to today. Apart from that, you describe the major themes underlying the study of e-commerce and identify the major academic disciplines contributing to e-commerce. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, everyone, I'm just wondering, have you ever heard Uber before? Uber? Who haven't heard about the Uber business before? Okay, so if no, that means everyone knows about Uber, right? Okay, now let's see. When we talk about Uber, นะครับ let's think about Uber in term of just let's say Uber taxi นะครับ before talking about Uber something like Uber Eats or something for Uber นะครับ have you used Uber or any other on-demand service company? Okay. So class, can you tell me, have you ever used Uber นะครับ or any other on-demand service companies like this?
Yes, I have used Uber before.
Yeah, maybe driver service or maybe just like taxi calling or maybe delivery of like your parcels, something like that. Yeah. So what is the appeal of these companies for users and providers?
Convenience.
Pardon me?
Convenience.
Convenience. What else?
Speed as well.
Speed. What else? What about the price? Is it cheaper or not? When we compare with just like the traditional way of just like taxi or parcel delivery.
Does that depends on each service?
But actually, I don't think price is one of the important factors. The one that you mentioned earlier was like about the convenience is better than in the past. The price, okay, you have to pay for the fee. Nothing is for free, right? So that's why when you use the Uber or in Thailand right now, Uber was like banned by the law, but we have what to say, Grab instead. You can see that kind of service make more convenience for people because in the past I remember that when I had to take a taxi, there were two ways before Uber time. I had to just like walk from my house to the street and then call the taxi. For example, if I just wanted to have a taxi to just like pick up my parents, then I have to just like walk to the street and then just like call them, sit with the driver and let them drive into my soil or area to just like bring my parents in. But okay, or on the other way that I used was that I made a phone call to the taxi call center, and then I had to tell them where I live, and the place where I live was quite difficult to get in because there were just like many left turn, right turns a lot. It's quite zigzag in my lane that I live, so it was so difficult to tell how to get to my house. But when we had Uber or Grab time, it was easy because by using the technology, sometimes I don't want to make a phone call. I just would like to use some applications to book the taxi ahead. I can specify the time quietly. For example, when I'm in the bed, I can just like use my mobile phone to just choose the time that I want the taxi to pick me up in the morning, and also the place where I want taxi to pick me up is as well. My phone has a GPS, so it is easier. So the convenience is the appeal of this company to the customer. And also because the providers can have many users as well. The users who use the internet and who use the smartphone can be the customers of those company as well. That is like the appeal of those company for their users. Are there any negative consequence to the increase of on-demand services like Uber and Airbnb? Can somebody tell me? Do you think are there any negative consequences? People will be too lazy?
Yeah, local people suffer from such an e-commerce. So local taxi drivers, for example.
Right. Okay. Someone said, don't think so. Say that except older methods will be gone sooner or later. Local service are depreciated. Yeah. Sujina, you just like mentioned one good thing. Local services are depreciated. So that means, suppose we have the driver who are just like taxi driver who cannot access to those kind of services, or who are unable to afford for the fee that that those companies charge or the technologies. So they will be depreciated. So this is like one problem as well. Sometimes you have to just like think about those kind of things as well. But anyway, you can see that these kind of on-demand services, sometimes it is important, especially for the COVID-19 period like this, because if we are locked down and we cannot just like access to other places, or if the shopping center is closed and we would like to order some food, one way that we may have to do is that we have to use this kind of delivery services as the on-demand service as well. So actually you have to think every coin has two sides. It might have some disadvantages that you have to think about deeply. Okay. You can see that for the depreciation of the local services, like for example in Thailand a couple of years ago, Uber were banned because like taxi drivers they were licensed, and they say that for the Uber they allowed the regular people to drive the taxi without the license. that means they just like the regular people will just like try to compete with the licensed people. That is not fair. And they say that, okay, for regular people, for the regular customer, it might be dangerous too. But actually, as I told you, the coin has two sides. We might say that, okay, for the Uber driver, if you just like think carefully, people or customer is more safe than regular taxi, because if you have just like the regular people to drive, to be the driver of the Uber, everyone need to be recorded properly, so that means you can track if there is something happen. For example, if you forget some valuable stuff inside that car, the call center or Uber company can just like try to contact those people for you. But if we are talking about the regular taxi driver, if you can't remember, you don't have the record, which car, which taxi, which license plate of the taxi that you used 2 days ago, something like that. Except, for example, if you live in a condominium and they have the they have the surveillance camera, you may just like ask to see the license plate of your the taxi that you took 2 days ago. But what if you go to somewhere else, that you cannot ask for the record of the CCTV. It is difficult for you to find. But if you use Uber, at least you have the record in with the Uber call center, because you have to sign up with having an account with them so that you can book the taxi, something like that. That means if you want to check back which taxi did you take, which Uber taxi did you take, you can do it easily. So, but anyway, you have to think about like the pros and cons of like these kind of services as well. Okay, the next one, when we talk about the e-commerce and technology, and its technology in the first 30 seconds, the first 20 years of e-commerce was just beginning. Rapid growth and change. You can see that, I mean, when we really seriously talk or call it as the e-commerce, it started at the beginning of the year 2000, and its rapid growth and change. You can see that right now, it's changed from the previous 20 years, because in the last 20 years, the e-commerce was conducted on the internet by using like the web-based, or even before the web-based generation, they use the electronic data interchange at that time. But right now, you can see that by having like smartphone, by having like the GPS microchips on the smartphone and the internet that is like on the smartphone as well, it makes the e-commerce to go rapidly. And for technologies evolve at the exponential rates, you can see disruptive business change, new opportunities. We see like lots of businesses that haven't done before long time ago. For example, if you would like to sell any products online, when you don't have any shop or any stores, in the past we couldn't do that, but right now it's very, very easy. You can have a live session in order to sell the products online, and people can use like social media in order to show their products. Instead of having the product catalog, they don't need to do so. They just take the photos and then just post on the comment for the price, or ask the customer or any prospective customer in order to send a direct message to ask for the price and order the products as well. And there comes new opportunities. Even though if you just like stay home, and you say that, okay, you have like plenty of available time, you can just simply cook some foods or bake some bakeries and then sell them on the internet easily. Why? should we study e-commerce? First one, you understand the opportunities and risk นะครับ and analyze e-commerce ideas, models, and issues for the e-commerce that they have right now and in the future. So when we talk about the e-commerce นะครับ in which kind of business or in which kind of like activities that we call it as e-commerce, when we use the internet to transact the business นะครับ including web, mobile browsers, and and mobile applications นะครับ to transact the business, we can call them as e-commerce. To call it more formally, it's digitally enabled commercial transactions between and among organizations and individuals. Why do we have to talk about among organizations and individuals? Because some e-commerce, they are the business transaction from one company to another company. To call it easily, we may call it as B2B or business to business. A company sell the products or services to another company. For example, if we are talking about a car manufacturing company, normally car manufacturing company, they assemble the car นะครับ but the raw materials or the parts that they use to assemble the car, they don't produce by themselves. For example, when we talk about, let's say, BMW company นะครับ the BMW Thailand, let's say, it's the car assembly company for BMW นะครับ when they would like to build or assemble a car นะครับ every car has the wipers นะครับ has the wipers. The wiper blade that is made of the rubber, BMW doesn't produce by themselves. They don't waste the money in order to build the factory นะครับ to make the wipers blade, but they purchase from other company instead. For example, they purchase from Bosch company in Germany นะครับ so that Bosch company will supply the wiper blades to BMW. So how does BMW order wiper blades? For example, if BMW Thailand would like to order 100,000 wiper blades for model ABCD, let's say. So normally they don't make a phone call to Bosch company นะครับ they don't write an email to Bosch company, but they have the system in order to place the order นะครับ to Bosch company that they would like to order 20,000 wiper blades model ABCD from Bosch company. The expected delivery date should be 20th of September 2021 at Rayong's factory, something like that. So this one is the commercial transaction between two companies นะครับ and what about like organization and individual? Organization and individual นะครับ one good example is called as B2C นะครับ business to consumers นะครับ business to consumers model here นะครับ is when a company sell the products or services to an individual person นะครับ through online way. For example, if we are talking about Uber or Grab, that one can be called as B2C as well, because Uber is the service provider and the customer นะครับ is individual person that use the service from Uber or from Grab, something like that. And also we have the commercial transaction between individuals as well, or we call it as C2C, consumer to consumer. I'll talk about the details of this abbreviation later on ครับ consumer to consumers, they are the way that two different persons buy or sell the products to each other. For example, if we're talking about eBay นะครับ you can put some products that you want to sell. For example, if you want to sell a wristwatch นะครับ I use a second-hand wristwatch on eBay. You just post your second-hand wristwatch on eBay, and then you let other people to bid for your wristwatch นะครับ Those people who bid for your wristwatch, they are individual person as well. So that's why we call this one as C to C, or consumers to consumers นะครับ These are just like e-commerce นะครับ the basic thing that we can define them นะครับ so